All right, you step outside of the temple, the southern entrance here, which I'll ping on this map. And the boys told you that they were heading over to the Grand Hall, which is this building over here. And you recall that that's where you were, where the spiders attacked, and you guys fled from the spiders.
You can probably hear Dante whine or
Herpes.
Herpes whining from wherever you are.
Now, I had followed them for part of the way before I fell back because I'm going to presume because I was feeling ill or worn out or whatever. I should share what we did find out.
Please do.
So, this building was locked at the time when we first went to it. This building was a mess. We went downhill. There wasn't a whole lot. We did a little bit of scouting in the village. There's some orcs down there. We detected magic somewhere down here, past the forest, and the orcs were avoiding the forest in general. And last I remember, we did eventually break into this building. We fought something, and then I left. Probably spiders. I really don't remember. It was the venom. There's spider venom. It affected me.
Plus the language barrier.
Yes.
But yes, Jack is quite correct that they were fighting some large spiders and spider swarms in that building when Jack had to do a tactical withdrawal. So you head into that building, do you? Yes, we'll do that. Perfect. Oh, whoops. Hang on, I'll grab yous from the temple.
Once we're inside, I'm going to light a source. I gotta see which ones I have first, though.
All right, you should be able to see yourselves there. Jack, you're lighting a torch.
Oh, I just remembered I don't have any torches. Because I never did get to a village to buy some torches or candles.
But you found some candles. I do definitely remember you guys finding candles when you raided the wizard's workshop.
Yeah,
right, hold on a second. I only have written down paper and components for rituals for some reason.
Well, I definitely recall you guys scoring a whole bunch of candles. Who has the link for the party inventory sheet? Somebody pop that up.
I'll send the link.
Thanks, Jay.
The candles,
now that
you
you
may have
mention it,
mentioned
I remember
that he can use them for rituals, is maybe why he has it marked like that. But he was particularly looking for candles at the time.
Right.
Yeah, and now that you mention it, I seem to recall picking up 2 candles. Which isn't much, but still better than nothing.
Yep. Okay. I have activated a candle for you. So you now have the light from a candle.
Yay! I no longer have to go in the dark.
And I think both Hatim and Valhalla, you're both humans as well.
100%.
Yeah.
So in that case, he's here standing in the doorway. There's sunlight spilling in. But as you can see, if you attempt to walk deeper into this room, it's going to get very dark very quick. So do either of you have torches you would like to light, or would you care to just try and follow the light from Jack's candle that he's holding?
I do not mention I have a second candle.
Good call.
Yep, I'll just follow Jack.
All right. You can see the signs of battle. Lots and lots of squished spiders all around here, including the carcasses of 2 very large spiders. The floor is slick with spider guts, as though 2 big swarms of spiders were smashed. At one point, you can clearly tell that someone jumped up and down on their shield, smashing as many spiders as they could.
Question.
Yes.
Would I know if spider parts are used as components for potions or something of that nature?
Yes, if you go ahead and make an Arcana check, you can. We'll see. Oh, heck yeah. Yes, you do. You know of several rituals and/or potions that use components of spiders. The only one I can think of off the top of my head was in 2nd edition, the spider climb spell. You had to eat a spider. So, we'll say
Okay,
that it translates over.
I'm going to see if I can gather a little bit for potential future use or for selling, in case no one in our party can actually use it.
Okay, just go ahead and mark
Because
down.
it'll be useful to someone.
Yeah, there's a lot. So you can just go ahead and mark down how many pounds of spider parts you want to be carrying.
I don't know how much I'm carrying right now. Oh, I'm only carrying like 71 pounds out of 200. I'll get 2 pounds worth of spider parts.
That's a lot of spider parts, but that's fine. Perfect. Just put it down your sheet. And then you guys can continue on into this structure, which I'll describe for you. It looks like the remains of an old, not temple, but a great hall, a grand meeting place, where there was celebration of. Here we go. This partially collapsed rubble and other debris is choking the inside of this building. Faded frescoes that you can just make out there, Jack. You can just make out ahead of you a statue that is gleaming white in one area as though it has been freshly cleaned, but just in one spot.
I will examine it.
It is a statue of Halen, which you know is the local lawful good
the
god.
local deity.
Yeah, the goddess that the large temple and that all of the paladins of Gardmore Abbey were worshipping. But it's the statue itself is covered in cobwebs and grime and dirt of ages, as well as graffiti and other muck and mud thrown by disrespectful heretics. However, there is one spot, we'll say it's on one of the arms there, that is the hands clutched together, that has been wiped clean recently by a rag, and it shows the pristine white marble underneath.
I'm going to examine that particular arm. See if maybe it moves or something.
Okay. It does not appear to move when you push on it.
I don't think I can get much more out of this statue looking at it. Alright, let us go deeper into temple and find friends, yes?
Sorry guys, I'm gonna be back in a second. Some guys being a dick on Facebook. I gotta tell them to shut up.
Trying to take you on a date.
Okay, Valhalla starts yelling at Sublime, who's being a huge dick, and he has to run back to the door to tell him to shut up. He'll catch up with yous.
Just goes outside and starts yelling at random orcs.
No, he's yelling at his saxophone player, Sublime, his follower. All right, as you kind of get to there, you can smell the smell of, like, burnt charcoal in the air. Oh, see.
Charcoal. Barbecue.
I forgot you guys were still on this map. Yes, definitely smells like barbecue.
I do not like barbecue.
Good. Now you can just see at the edge of your torchlight there a dead knoll.
Is it burned?
No.
Holes are dangerous. I will examine corpse to see cause of it.
All right, perception.
Wouldn't my heal work better for that?
Sure, I like it. Yes. Do a heal check. All right, you examine the knoll's body and see that it has sustained wounds from a 3-pronged bladed instrument, as well as crushing wounds, as though it's been smacked with something large and heavy.
The racist trident was here. Our friends were here. So I think we are following the right path, yes?
Yeah, I'd say so.
But which way did they go? Left or right? We should look at that floor to see which way they went.
All right, that one's going to be perception.
Or walls.
Shit. Hatim knows exactly which way. That's back-to-back crits for you, Hatim.
Yeah.
Was that one of your bump point goals?
I don't know. I'll check.
You know that they definitely went to the left, and you know that they went there very recently. And you can also tell with a crit that there was a bunch of gnolls who went that way and then turned around and fled back to the entrance, the way you guys just came in.
Cool. I'll relate this to Jack.
Excellent. Left is right and right is wrong. Oh look, another dead body. I will examine to see if it too had met the same fate. Fate being our friend's violence.
Yes. Very similar wounds on this one as well.
Alright, I'm back.
Perfect.
There's something wooden here. Is this a door?
It is a door, and it's standing open. But we're going to let Valhalla yell to you guys now. So they've disappeared into the darkness, Valhalla.
Sublime!
Sublime stayed back in the temple. Would you like to insist that he came with you?
He's back with the rest of the party?
No, he's with Oakley back in the temple.
I don't know who Obi is. Who's Obi?
The paladin that we're helping out.
Do you want Sublime with you?
No, it's fine. I don't really care. I don't even remember I'm with Jack and Hatim right now.
Correct.
Hatim, my friend.
You can hear him. Hatim.
What's going on?
Hatim, where are you?
I say to Jack that we should probably go back get him.
Okay, we will retrace steps.
You can hear them talking to each other. You guys aren't that far apart.
We are coming. We are coming, friend, person.
Okay. I'm right here.
You can hear him calling to you from the south. Beyond.
Guys, I'm right here. I just can't see you. Just like walk towards me.
That is what doing. You should be. Wait.
You can still
Are
hear
you
him.
not by door?
What? I'm right here.
There you are. Come with me. Follow me. I am Tiny Lighthorse.
I'm sure you are.
You follow the large minotaur holding the tiny guttering candle through the darkness of this once grand place.
Oh shit. We got some spiders, it seems.
Oh yeah, there were spider corpses all over there. Sorry, you might have missed that description when you stepped out. There's tons of smashed spiders and 2 very large spider corpses, as well as a dead gnoll there that you're just dancing on.
Step over the knoll. What's this wall? What
Rubble.
is these? Rubble. I'll search the rubble. Is there anything cool?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Ooh boy, will do.
Valhalla takes the time to kick over some of the rocks and lift some of the heavier pieces of slate out of the way to look around there, but you don't find anything of interest in this collapsed part of the wall.
I hold a candle nearby while he is doing that to help his vision.
Excellent.
Nothing. Let's just go on.
So the closer you get to this door, which the Jack is leading you guys to, the stronger the smell of charcoal and burning is. Hatim, can you join your buddies over there so I can copy and paste you guys to the next screen?
Yeah, 2 seconds.
Sure, not a problem. I'm going to say the doors are standing wide open, and you stare down the flight of stairs to smoking, and I'm going to say in some places you still see some flame. And at the bottom of the stairs, all charred and black-faced from ash and soot, are your friends.
Cool. Yeah. Go greet our friends.
They are in rough shape.
Oh, can you ping where we are? So
Where?
Yeah.
Didn't we fall into a trap at the end of the last game?
Yes, you did. The fire trap that came down and coated you all in flames.
I thought we got like captured or something. Though.
No, you didn't get captured. They, the gnolls set off the trap and then ran and slammed the door. Perhaps setting another trap, or perhaps bulwarking themselves against your advance. But unfortunately, your duck did not make it.
That's so sad.
The duck is dead?
The duck is dead.
can I roll? I got a bump point last time, but I don't think I rolled
Oh,
it.
absolutely.
Do you guys see things? I can't see anything at all.
Oh, just
We are on far left of the map, and I just brought candle forward.
Oh, I can see now.
all right. What number did you get, Jay?
83.
83. Your new bump point goal is kill a famous person.
All right, Valhalla.
You fuck right off.
All right. The reason you can't see anything, Valhalla, is because the light source moved away from you. However, in real life, you'd be able to see the candle at the bottom of the stairs, so I'm just going to jump you down the stairs to see the light.
You don't need to. I can see.
Oh, you can see now? Okay, my bad. There, everybody should be in the screen now. Herpes has slightly retreated to the top of the stairs to have a little sit down and catch his breath, drink some water, and trying to put out the few little remaining scraps of burning clothing that he's wearing. All three of these guys look like they have just very recently been set on fire.
I'm not feeling
Damn,
so
what
hot,
happened to you
guys.
three?
I'm like a blubbering mess because my duck died.
What's going on here, fellas?
Vince and I were adventuring, and we maybe slayed a bunch of gnolls, and then they lit us on fire.
What shape are you in? Are you injured?
Take a look at the mage. Point to Vince, he's probably all mangled.
Oh yeah, Vince is looking particularly haggard. Not just injured, but really, really worn out.
Your threads have seen finer days. Do you need any temporary clothing?
Vince is he's looking exhausted, as though he is low on healing surges.
Who was
0 to be in fact.
whose clothing was like just threads and like soot?
I guess that would be Vince. He was the one who stayed on fire the longest.
Big time.
Oh, so but his clothing's fine.
His clothing is all pretty scorched and ruined, but it's still covering his important parts.
My lady part.
I have a question. Can I use my healing skill to try to help someone rest or basically feel better?
Yes, during an extended rest, I'll say that you can make a healing surge to give them bonuses to their rolls against the endurance check.
Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, I can do that too. I have Song of Rest.
Yeah, that helps them regain more hit points. But I think what Josh was asking is about regaining more healing surges.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Yeah, we basically have a bunch of wieners with like 0 con.
I'm to get a ritual at some point that would allow us to transfer healing surges from one person to another, but I don't have it yet. That'll be somewhat useful.
Very useful. You guys are only on day 10, which means you still have 140 days left to complete your task. So you could, in theory, if you wanted to, go and camp out for a couple days and let everybody catch up on healing surges.
100-day party.
What do you mean? We are perfectly fine.
It's true. It is just Vince and Herpes that are looking particularly haggard right now.
Remind me, which person was it that was supposed to be a bit weary of anyone that wasn't an elf?
I don't think we had someone like that. This group's pretty accepting, except for when Valhalla was not trusting the new Minotaur. Hey, there's Dave.
It says Valhalla took a couple swings at the Minotaur.
We talked over each other. Go ahead.
Oz just said that you had taken a couple swings at the Minotaur in the darkness. I don't think you connected though.
I still don't trust the Minotaur.
I'm saying that I didn't hear that just so Jack literally doesn't realize you taken swings.
That was out of character.
Yeah.
There was an encounter with a group of particularly racist elves. That might be what you're remembering.
Yes. Mitch told me that story.
But while there is some low-lying racism throughout the party, none of it is particularly blatant. All right. Well, that's great that Dave just arrived right now because we just got the rest of the party back together. So you're all kind of the original three of you are just getting your senses and gaining your footing after setting off that gigantic fire trap, and the rest of you have just arrived, stomped out the last few little puddles of fire left on these steps, and come down into the very smoky now cellars, which, Jack, you recognize right away when you get down here. This is Minotaur architecture.
Interesting.
It was early afternoon when you guys left the temple to head down here.
I was just wondering about my dailies, if I had any.
Yes, you guys did spend a day of rest, so you got all your dailies back. You're at 1 action point, except for Harpies, Murgatroyd, and Vince, who will be at 2 action points because they went through 2 encounters, unless you guys spent an action point. I don't remember if you did or not.
I didn't.
But yes, the rest of you will all have your dailies back and 1 action point.
Delightful.
Jack will go examine some of architecture. See what he can learn and glean from brothers.
There's no limit on the number of action points you can have, Dave, but every time you do an extended rest, they reset back to 1. So since the last extended rest, you guys have only been through 2 encounters, so you'll have 2. All right, so you see to the north there a gigantic, heavy metal door. It is enormous, even by Minotaur standards, and it is, as you can see, 20 feet across and as high as it is wide. It has 2 gigantic pull rings and ornate Minotaur designs and carvings all over it, mostly depicting Minotaurs worshipping their lawful good god.
Are they well done for like dwarf standards?
Yeah, pretty well done. We're saying that in our world, dwarves and minotaurs they get along all right. They, so you look at this and you're like, well, it's not dwarven, but it's better than human and elves can do.
Okay. Yep.
And Jack likes dwarves. Jack gives dwarves piggyback rights. Or Minotaur back rights.
So yes, that double set of wooden doors there, you can see, Murgatroyd, are heavy wooden and braced with iron. And they're the ones that you saw the gnoll escape through after he set off the trap.
Is someone playing guitar?
Sounds like a horn.
Or a vacuum cleaner?
Oh, that's just Dave.
Dave, you're sounding awfully like a car today.
Yeah. He transformed into a car.
He is the ghost in the machine.
Dave, I heard you make a car horn sound every time you're into gay people. Is that true?
Yeah, that's something Dave.
Jack will continue to examine large steel doors, see if he can glean the purpose behind it, based on previous dwarven and minotaur architecture he has seen in past.
All right. What skill would you like to use to glean this information?
I will use dungeoneering.
All right, let it rip. All right, with your dungeoneering knowledge, examining these doors, anything that would, sorry, I'm going to marshal my thoughts here. The reasons why they would build a gigantic, extremely heavy set of doors like this are to A, keep people out, B, keep people in, or C, maybe just to be ultra super impressive. Now, you know that this used to be a temple, a very important temple, the first Minotaur temple built on this continent years and years ago. You know, your great-great-grandfathers came here to try and establish a settlement, and they built this grand place to be a beacon for other Minotaurs to come. And unfortunately, they were wiped out, and it didn't work out. But this place would have been erected in such grandeur as to be a place that Minotaurs would want to flock to. So perhaps this was built extra fancy this way just to entice other pioneers, other Minotaurs who wanted to make the journey. Or it's a great big ass heavy door that's keeping something safe on the other side.
This place is infested with
Large,
stupid
impressive
gnolls,
door.
isn't it?
Yes, this place is infested with stupid gnolls.
Jerks. I'm going to... Did anybody eat the duck?
No, nobody has eaten the duck.
Okay, I'm gonna...
Established that we were gonna eat it last time.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in my adventures pack.
All right, put one cooked duck in there.
Mercantile would like to hunt some
It
gnolls.
seems important.
Does anyone else
Or
have,
should we come back later?
Does anyone else have a torch we can light?
Herpes is rocking a torch.
I have like 2 sun rods in my kit. If someone wants it.
Yeah, sunrod this job. Let's get some light.
Alright, I'll mark off a sun rod. And I'll toss it to Valhalla.
Valhalla's holding a sunrod.
Mind your eyes.
I will put out candle and put away for future use.
Okie doke. All right, the blinding white magnesium of the chemical reaction of the sunrod seriously illuminates the room, as you guys can see now.
So did the gnolls went through the door that I'm standing by, or this crazy big one?
They went through the door that you're standing by.
All right, cool. Do I know anything about gnolls?
You can search your memory to see. What skill would you like to roll to try and learn more information about gnolls?
Gnolls are monsters. I'll use nature. I'll take 10 on it if I can.
Do you guys want to sit around for 10 minutes while Valhalla ponders gnolls?
Is that
I'll
what-
sit around forever.
Wait, no. It takes 10 takes minutes for anything you do for for thinking.
Taking 10 takes 10 times the amount of time that it would normally take. So in this case, instead of just thinking about it for a minute, it's going to take 10 minutes.
Okay, so all right, so I'm rolling to know if I remember something.
You're just trying to search your memories to see what information you can dredge up about gnolls.
Murgatroyd will help the process. He'll mention that they're arseholes and that they set us on fire.
Including my duck.
All right, so that roll will give you the information that gnolls are... No. Oh, maybe. Yeah. But it's a different type of gnolls. But there are definitely gnoll-ish creatures in Lancashire. The gnolls are humanoid hyenas, so they're like giant dogmen. Just go ahead and do a Google image search, and you'll find what they look like, and you can remember. The roll is not good enough, but let's see what Herpes. Herpes, you can make a roll as well on whatever skill you'd like to say. But unfortunately, Val, you can change your name back to Valhalla too. You're no longer a woman.
My name is Valhalla on mine.
Oh, it's Valarella on mine.
Oh, sorry, I'm an idiot. Never mind.
So yes, you can just remember that they're dogmen, Valhalla.
Cool.
And they communicate with barks and howls. Okay, go ahead and make a nature roll, Herpes.
I thought gnolls were related to hyenas.
Yep.
They're kind of like a minotaur, but with the dog.
Excellent. Herpes, you know of gnolls or whatever it is in your native tongue. We'll make that up later. As wild, they're like desert wanderers. So like you have wild dogs in Africa and India. The gnolls are the same thing. So they travel in small packs and they live in the deserts, and they're amazing survivalists. And I'm trying to think of other things. They don't interact with humans that much. In Lancashire, anyway. Long time ago, your ancestors, there was a time when they were, I don't want to say worshipped, but at least, damn it, my words fail me. They were looked up to for their survival skills in the desert, and humans even learned some survival skills from these Lancashirean gnolls. But since then, human and Lancashirean gnoll relations have fallen apart, and they have gone back to being scavengers, or more like hyenas in the desert. And that's what Herpes tells you about gnolls, at least the gnolls that are from where he's from.
Gnolls.
Yeah, reverence is a good word.
All I really want is gnolls.
That door is a pull. Excellent. It opens.
I'll fall behind Murgatroyd.
Excellent. The room in
Does it
front of
smell
you.
like dog?
I will go through prepared for attack.
All you can smell is burnt hair from your singed beard and clothes. The rest of you can smell burnt hair from your buddies, but there is also a smell of like dog piss in the air.
Can I look for traps?
Yes, you can look for traps.
It seems that there is gambling game table, or go.
Okay, so while Murgatroyd hesitates to look for traps, Jack just pushes right past him and goes straight into the room. The room is quiet except for the guttering of some fire in the braziers that you can see. It is appears to be some sort of antechamber. The area just to the west of that gaming table is a wall carved with a relief of a female minotaur posed as a proud warrior leaning on a spear and holding a set of scales. Right away, Jack, you recognize this as the minotaur equivalent of the god of justice.
What's the game?
The gaming table is an old Minotaur version of chess, and it is the game board is a marble slab that is very, very finely carved. You can see now that it's kind of caked with some disgustingness, as though some dirty gnolls have been playing games on here. And the individual chess-like pieces of carved Minotaur warriors that are carved out of precious stones are also, like, all their nooks and crannies are full of that black gunk that you get when you handle stuff and don't wash it, like on your keyboard or in your mouse wheel.
Do these look like they're worth value, or can I assess how much they're worth?
Yes, you can attempt to assess how much they're worth by making a thievery check.
Shoot, add 2 to that. Wrong roll.
No, that's fine. You guess that, these pieces are finely carved, and they appear to be made, or Murgatroyd can tell you right away what stones they're made out of. They are made of green and white jade.
So how much can you back down all the walls and sell them?
I'll pop them in my bag, but can I tell how much they're worth?
Your rough guess is that you think you could probably get 8 gold per game piece. More if you have all the pieces and the board, but the board is a big, thick slab of marble that weighs 50 pounds.
No, I'll just take all the pieces.
Okay, so there are 2 16s is 32. There's 32 pieces in total.
I will examine a picture on wall.
All right.
He is doing that.
The picture on the wall, as I said before, you recognize as the Minotaur goddess of justice. She is holding the scales, and she is posed proudly as a warrior, holding a spear and dressed for battle. There is a scene of battle around her, or at least the image of the tail end of a battle with lots of soldiers and stuff scattered around. You do know that being the goddess of justice, she is the keeper of balance, and also in the Minotaur world, the kind of decider who lives, who dies, maintaining the balance, maintaining the scales of justice and all that jazz. The relief carving was very well done. It is an impressive work of art. However, years and abuse by the various denizens of this room have taken its toll, and parts that were sticking out, like perhaps the tips of her horns or the very bottom part of the spear, have been snapped off of the relief carving, and it is grimy and soot covered, and you can even see a stain on one corner of the wall down here where it looks like the gnolls have been pissing.
That makes me a little sad.
No, Herpes, you have never seen a game board like this before. Sorry to interrupt, Jack.
No problem. I will say small prayer and then continue to examine the remainder of the room and architecture.
Is there any glaring traps that I see?
No, you do not see any glaring traps. You do, however, see the set of double doors to the south, and around this nook is a set of double doors to the north.
What are they burning?
They are burning coal. So some charcoal in the bottom there, which is making the air extra sooty and black near the roof. There are some vents somewhere where it is venting, and if you care to make a detailed perception check, you can follow the smoke to see where it's escaping out of this room, but it's not escaping faster than it's getting pumped in, so there is a haze of smoke hovering around the ceiling.
Sorry, what do I have to roll to see where the vent is?
Perception.
I will do that.
Murgatroyd, you blow your nose, farmer blow style, a few times to get all the soot and ash, and get your pinky in there and dig around, get all the black crusty bogies out of your burnt nostril hair, and then you can get your sniffer going again and start sniffing around for the gnoll pissy smell. And it seems to be pretty pungent, especially coming from this mural, as though they were specifically peeing on it to deface it. but it definitely smells stronger to the south than the north, as though the north door, they avoided peeing in that area for some way, shape, or form. Valhalla, you see that the smoke is disappearing through a few discrete vents in the ceiling at various places, but you also see the smoke disappearing through a crack above the wall located right here.
Cool. What's the crack look like?
The crack looks like maybe the top of a door frame.
Is there any light coming out that I can see?
No.
I'll push the wall. What does it feel like?
It feels like set stone, but maybe, just maybe, you feel a little bit of give to it, as though there might be a door here.
All right. I start like padding around, seeing if I could find anything that's kind of like a secret latch or something.
All right, so the rest of you see Valhalla kind of scanning and looking around this wall. Please make a thievery or dungeoneering check for me, Valhalla. What would the rest of you like to do while Valhalla is groping the wall?
I'm gonna like just sit back and like I'm still not feeling very hot at all. So I'm just like hanging back and not really doing anything.
I will point this out to Murgatroyd.
I'll go over. What am I looking for? What are you pointing out?
He is patting wall. I think there might be a passageway over there.
Where Valhalla is?
Yes.
Does it look like there's a door here?
Valhalla hasn't found anything yet. He's like scanning, just looking at different nooks and crannies in the stonework to see if he can find a switch or a button or anything, but he's not having any success. Yes, Murgatroyd wails on the wall with diplomacy, and it has that telltale hollow sound that you know well, Murgatroyd.
All right. I keep feeling around, I guess.
Can I help him do a check? Be like, it's most hollow here, so maybe there's a switch or something.
Yes, you can make your own thievery or dungeoneering check, Murgatroyd.
Can I help him?
You are kind of helping him already. So because you're doing your role, you can't modify his role any further.
Since I'm a little more familiar with Minotaur engineering.
Murgatroyd, with a roll of 18, you're like, okay, it's definitely a pressure switch, so we're looking for something to push on, but you haven't found the exact right part of the wall to push yet.
All right. Well, I just keep pressing all the things that are kind of within reach. I press every tile I can.
All right, Valhalla is playing a mad game of patty cake with the wall, and Jack reaches over and, like, just right in front of Valhalla, like, right by his nose, just pushes one particular tile, and it causes the secret door to slide open.
Nice. All right. All right. I'll let it slide and wait for that.
Excellent. The secret door slides open to reveal a short passageway on the other side.
Does passageway been in use?
No, this passageway has not been in use for a long, long time. There's a thick layer of dust and dead insects on the floor, which Murgatroyd and Valhalla immediately begin disturbing as they walk in.
I've killed many spiders. These insects aren't going to bother me.
You can see similar signs. Once you're inside the secret passageway, it's easy to see that there is another door over here.
The secret doors are usually only secret on one side.
It's true.
Is there anything like on the walls or any indents or?
Oh no, you can definitely see how to open it.
I'll listen against it.
That's what I was looking for. Yes, when you listen against it, pressing your ear to the cold stone, you can hear the sounds of gnolls talking on the other side in their yips and barks. You can tell they're talking quietly, but not so quietly that you can't hear them. So like normal indoor speaking voice.
I would whisper. Before we open door, we prepare, and the moment we open door, we throw some sort of explosive or fireball or something we throw to do damage before we go in.
I'm gonna stay back as far as I can.
All right. I'm gonna go go back and tell Tim and Herpes.
Okie doke.
One person open door, other person cast spell as door opening.
Where is
Or
Herpes?
throw thing as door opening.
That's Herpes, the green wizard?
Yeah.
Alright, I think Hatim is AFK right now. So can I just, like... I kind of want to tell both of them at the same time, so I don't have to keep relaying. But there we go. Hey guys, we found a secret passage. We're gonna try to get a one-up on these gnolls. You with me?
I'm sure were he here, Hatim would be all for killing gnolls. Especially after what they did to the duck. So, before you go into combat here, would any of you like to spend a healing surge to raise your hit points? Herpes,
I've got
I'm
no
looking at
healing
you.
surges.
If you do, I can help and give you small bonus.
Actually, do we have any more potions? Are we all out?
I think we have. Let me scroll back up here.
Don't
Six.
use potions. Let me do spell that causes you to use healing surge because it
I
will
don't
give you
have
a
any healing
bonus.
surges. All out of healing surge.
Oh wait, here, try this shit out. And I pull out my bag of holding that had the magic holy water in it. It works sometimes, and I splash some on him.
All right. You get a little wet, Vince.
Ooh.
How'd that feel?
It felt kind of nice. Your skin was a little irritated and raw from being burnt, so having some nice cool water on there helps you out.
I keep splashing him.
All right, you're getting soaked, but it's not healing you in any way, shape, or form.
I wouldn't soak him. I wouldn't be like that. I'd keep getting water on him.
So yeah, I'm gonna drink a potion, I guess.
All right, the potions give you 15 health back.
I continue
Not
to splash.
bloodied.
All right, I think Valhal's going to keep splashing you, Vince, until you tell him not to.
That's
I'm
okay.
well convinced this is working.
It's refreshing.
Okay, excellent. Are you guys ready?
I splashed my bag of holding clean, so there's nothing left.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, just a
I
second.
ready my charge.
Yeah, I'm gonna get ready to like spy whichever the biggest gnoll is there, so I can start running at him immediately as soon as I kick the door.
I don't want to be up front though. I'm not too great at that. I'm gonna swear from afar.
How big was noise behind door?
Not big. Normal indoor speaking voice.
So it did not sound like there were very many gnolls? Just a few?
Hard to
They're
tell.
tough.
It did sound like Knowles, right? Like it didn't sound like anything else. I could tell it was dog-like.
Oh yeah, it was definitely dog-like. Jax is ready to charge. Murgadroid overlay. It's like an old orphanage. Yeah, just a bunch of kids. Okay, Murgadroid. How are you opening the secret door?
With my foot.
Okay. So, Murgadroid boots open the secret door, which, I guess it slides. So you kick sideways the large stone door, which kind of grinds halfway and then stops, and you give it another good boot, and it slides all the way into its recessed cavity into the wall. However, it was not subtle, so they definitely know you're coming. Which means we can all roll initiative. I guess this makes sense. Jax was ready to charge. I'm going to put Hatim in even though he's not back yet. So unfortunately, due to your guys' low rolling, the gnolls are all acting first. So I don't think any of you can really see them anyway. So you can hear their barks and yips as they kind of shout commands to each other, and you can only assume are taking up positions in different parts of the hall.
Good news is if we can't see them, they can't see us, baby.
That is true.
That's not really how D&D works. So.
I'm just gonna close my eyes for the rest of the campaign.
Yeah.
Oh, what should we do with this sunrod, guys? Actually, this thing's super bright, right?
It's ridiculously bright, yeah. You want to drop
That's why
it?
I say toss in room to blind them.
Yeah, I'm totally gonna toss it in.
Okay.
Flash grenade, go, go, go!
Excellent. Valhalla throws the torch in there. Now, Murgatroyd, you can see a couple of the gnolls in the room. That one actually ran for that door. And then Jack gets to go. Oh, Tim, you're back. I put you in initiative order already, so we haven't forgotten about you. Jack, you're up.
I will go into the room and go for first gnoll I see.
All right. Can you see him there at the bottom of the screen, all red?
That is as far as I can go.
Excellent. If you sprint, you can add 2 to your move, but you are going to have -5 to your attack.
Right, but he has a move and a standard, so you just move back 1 and then standard charge.
This is also true. So this gnoll that you're running up to, he is he's particularly crazy looking, and his eyes are bloodshot red and caked around with that yellow crusty nastiness you get when your eyes are all infected. He looks as though he is not in his right mind.
Since he is not quite in range of a melee attack of my charge, I'm going to do my Astral Seal instead, because it is ranged.
Sure. Excellent, yes.
That does not hit.
No, you call out to your god, but you have this strange sinking feeling that your god cannot hear you in this place, even though it is a place of holiness for minotaurs. You get the strange feeling that this chamber holds the memory of some terrible event. Vince, you're up.
I'm just gonna sit tight. Or around that corner. Oh, okay, never mind. Can I see any gnolls from here?
It's the beauty about Roll20. If you can see him, then you can see him.
Yeah, I don't think I can see him. No. I'll just stay here and ready a Eldritch Blast for when somebody walks into that zone.
All right, you got it. You prepare your Eldritch Blast, and you hold up your hands. You look down, and you can see underneath your unkempt fingernails, there's black charcoal and duck grease. It makes you momentarily sad. Hatim.
So I'm pretty unsure of what's happening, so I guess I'll just kind of run in.
Always a good plan.
While you were away, we did fill in your character that we were planning to attack the gnolls.
Oh, okay.
So you're not just completely unaware of this. We actually huddled essentially, and then made a plan and then I just kicked the door, so it didn't matter.
So what's the where are the gnolls and everything? Are they just all in this doorway?
They're inside the room.
And no one has been in the room yet?
The Minotaur's in it.
Okay. I'll move up beside the Eladrin there, Vince, and wait for something more to happen, I guess.
All right. Murgatroyd, you're up.
I'll charge the gnoll. I'll move and then charge.
All right. So when you run up to there, you can definitely see this other gnoll back here. And you kind of make eye contact for a second, and that gnoll bangs on this heavy wooden door and barks and yips something to it.
Well, let's see. Does he look like he's more important than the other gnoll?
He doesn't look rabid like this gnoll.
I'll just charge the same gnoll, I guess.
All right. Let it rip.
So it'd be 19 versus reflex.
Unfortunately, that does not hit. He is so jerky and spastic in his movements that it's hard to peg this guy down as he kind of does a little two-step dance from one paw to the other, gnashing at the air and the nasty, goopy, white foam saliva dripping from his mouth onto the floor. Herpes, you're up.
I'll just mark him.
Oh, never mind. Herpes says, I gotta go, and runs out of the room. All right, he's marked. Valhalla, you're next.
Alrighty. I'll move up. Oh shit, there's a knoll.
You have to turn your music down.
Sorry, I didn't realize you could hear.
Only when you push to talk. Put some headphones on.
Alright, I'll go right there, and then I will, I'll use Vicious Mockery, I guess.
All right, Valhalla inserts himself neatly between the two brawny characters and calls out a taunt to the rabid gnoll.
What are, gnolls are dog, like, they're like hyenas?
Yeah.
Versus Will.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely affected by whatever you say.
Yeah, I'll say, yo mama's a bitch. And it's funny because it's a dog. And he takes a -2 to AC.
Excellent. Yes. So somehow your insult manages to penetrate his rabid, swirling mind, and he turns and fixes you with a crazy, bloodshot eye stare and growls through his clenched teeth, snorting out of his nostrils.
I blow okay.
All right. It's his turn, and even though Murgatroyd has marked him, he's crazy. So he shifts forward and will attack Valhalla.
Get that thingy. Oh wait, no, you. Never mind.
So he crit fail. So I'm going to say that as he shifts forward, he opens himself wide open, and Murgatroyd, you can make an attack against him.
What a lose.
Oh yeah, you score a definite hit.
10.
Excellent. Yes, as the gnoll is completely focused on Valhalla after he's hurled insult, he steps forward, raising both of his hands over his head to bring them down in a claw strike. You bring diplomacy up into his guts and hear some of his ribs crunch as you drive the heavy head of your hammer into his stomach. All right, then this guy over here charges at Valhalla. I just rolled another crit fail, so he runs right up to Valhalla and trips just before arriving, sliding prone right at your feet.
Booyakasha!
This gnoll down here throws open these doors and yells something in the gnoll tongue to, you can only imagine, other gnolls on the other side of them. And then this gnoll comes around the corner to join the fray. He'll move and then charge at Jack. All right, he rakes at you with his claws. 25 versus your AC, Jack.
That hits me.
All right, the nasty, jagged claws that are on the tips of his fingers slash across your torso, doing 14 points of damage. And he marks you, which means if you attack anyone other than him, you'll be at -2. All right, and then out of the shadows steps this other gnoll who has a longbow, and he is going to shoot at who's the squishiest. Valhalla, what kind of armor are you wearing?
Flamboyant. Leather.
Okay, yes, he's going to shoot at Valhalla. 26 versus your AC.
Yeah.
You're struck with an arrow from his longbow for 15 points of damage, and it's now sticking out of your lower abdomen, just missing your hip bone.
Damn!
Jack, your turn.
I shall turn to the one that struck me, and I shall strike back at him. And I shall use a blazing beacon to strike him hard with my axe. Hopefully. Versus AC.
Oh my, yes, that is a hit.
All ranged attack rolls against the target gain a +4 power bonus until the end of my next turn.
Excellent. You'll help me remember that, please.
Yes.
All right, so irregardless, which I know is not a real word, but I'm bringing it back, or I'm making it a legit word. Irregardless of the difficulty you had contacting your god before, this time calling upon the blazing beacon to imbue the power into your axe, it finds purchase, and you feel the extra strength of your goddess come through your weapon and deal damage to this creature, marking him as an easier target for ranged weaponry. Vince, you can now see this gnoll almost through your subconscious mind's eye has become more vulnerable to ranged attacks.
Oh, perfect. I'm going to curse him. Which one was it? The top one or the bottom one?
The one I put the curse on, the skull and crossbones.
21 versus reflex plus, what was it, 4?
Yes, that is a hit.
So 25. Bzam! 15 points.
Ooh, with the D... no, that was your Eldritch Blast. So the purplish flame from the Warlock's Eldritch Blast cascades over that gnoll, singeing some of his fur and burning him, causing him to yap in pain. Hatim, your turn.
I'm going to. Can I move up? Okay, I'll move up 2 first, and move to where Jack is. I think.
All right.
It's just the 2 gnolls there, or there's another gnoll by the door there.
Oh, 4, 5? I can see 5.
5.
The 3 in front of us, there's a green one over there, and one down here.
Oh, so that skull doesn't mean he's dead.
No, that means that he's cursed. They'll get red X'd out if they're dead.
Okay, so I'll move beside that gnoll with the
Warlock's curse.
Warlock's curse.
Yeah, and then do the fire attack, that burst attack I have.
Oh yeah, yes please.
Would that count as a ranged attack?
No. It's a burst 3, correct?
Yeah, burst 3.
All right, so you'll get all 3 of those guys. Let's start with the top one. AC.
So I guess that's yeah, 17 versus AC.
So you unfortunately missed the top one, and then AC 15 misses the second one. Now roll again. We'll take the first damage roll because you got a crit on one of them. So. Oh no! Then you got a crit, so you hit them all. So all 3 of them take damage from your awesome fiery blast.
So 21 fire damage.
Nice one.
Is 21 your max damage, Tim? Because like it's a crit, right?
At 22 should be the max.
Yeah, he only does 22 to Demon Eye 1, but the crit means that he hits everybody else.
Oh, right on.
But I will add 1 extra point of damage to the bottom guy there. Okay, wow. So this one, the one that Vince attacked earlier, and the one at the bottom are so scorched that they become bloodied.
That's what they get.
And all 3 of them are kind of stunned and taken aback at this sudden vicious assault. Murgatroyd, your turn.
I'll smash the one that is kneeling down.
Okay.
So I guess it's 19 versus AC.
Unfortunately, that's not enough. So in the sudden flash caused by the giant flame attack, you're momentarily dazed and you are forced to miss, unfortunately.
I'll do my 3 and then I'll mark them.
Okay. Beauty. After Murgatroyd is Herpes, who's out. Valhalla, you're in.
All right. What bump points? What can they be used for? Is it just bumping up rolls?
Bumping up rolls, or when there's a significant treasure find, you can cash them in to make me roll again on the treasure table.
I'm going to shift back and get my my gauntlets out. Actually, no, wait, my gauntlets are equipped. How far can I jump? Like, how many squares?
Oh, I forget. It's under athletics. Where would you like to jump to?
My plan is to climb up the wall and then try to jump down and attack this prone mofo.
Oh, jumping down is easy. That's just called falling.
But when I fall directly down, like I have to jump outwards, right?
Oh, yeah. You definitely have enough movement rates to walk up the wall and across the ceiling directly above this guy and drop straight down on him if you want.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah, I'll do that. I'll climb up directly above him.
Okay.
And with my Morning Star. And I'm going to use Gilding Strike against him as I fall down.
Right on. All right. So yeah, Valhalla turns and runs up the wall. You'll get opportunity to attack from all three of them if you turn to run there.
Not even against the prone guy?
Sorry, no, not against the prone guy, just the other two.
Okay, shit, I don't have anything to sacrifice for 2 moves. Fuck it, I'm gonna try it.
Okay, one of them rolled shitty, but one of them hits you. Scratching
Does that stop
No, it doesn't stop you. It just deals so many boxes to look at here. For the 11 to 13 points of damage as his claws, which you can definitely feel are very dirty, scratch across your leg from the back of your thigh down to your calf muscle. But it doesn't stop you. So you take off and run up the wall and Jackie Chan your way across the ceiling and then drop on this guy. So first thing will be your attack roll.
All right. Versus a.
That is a hit. All right. So
all right. Cool.
damage.
Plus,
Damage
for your attack.
Yep.
for your attack.
Yep. I'm just checking. Does my magic Morning Star do extra damage?
It does. You moved more than 2 squares.
Right. It does an additional 1d6 of lightning damage.
Correct.
Sweet. Nice. So 13 points of damage.
All right. Yeah, you fly through the air, dropping down on him, hitting him with your Morning Star like some kind of crazy anime character. It crackles with electricity. Now, make an acrobatics check, please. DC 13.
Sure. And that's my electricity damage for having the static charge is the 5.
Thank you.
And athletics.
Acrobatics.
Dang.
So unfortunately you fail. So roll a d6. You're going to do that much damage to him, but you're also going to take that much damage because you landed weird. Ooh, nice. So we're going to
I
say
did a total of 24 damage.
that's pretty sweet, but you came down kind of almost in like a belly flop. So the first thing to make contact when you hit the ground was the Morning Star slamming into this prone guy, and then the rest of you kind of came down, landing guts first onto the ground. You're not prone, though. We'll say that you're on your hands and knees, so you're okay. You're not technically
Sweet.
prone.
I also did a bump point.
Oh, what was that?
It was successfully drop attack someone.
Nice. You did. You sure as shit did successfully drop attack that guy. He is very, very bloodied.
Nice.
So you all kind of stare in amazement at Valhalla's incredible display of off-the-top rope action. The the crazy knoll facing off with Murgatroyd down there will haul back with its claws and slash at him. But that's a 18 versus your AC. That's a miss. And the one that is prone next to Valhalla is just going to kind of crawl towards you and try and grapple you while you're both on the ground.
Sorry, he's also marked by an ally, and I choose for him to be marked by Murgatroyd.
He's already marked by Murgatroyd, so perfect. Oh, he really bombed his strength check, so he attempts to crawl over and grapple you, but he's so woozy from that attack that he just kind of headbutts you a little bit. This guy down here runs up to join the fight, and he's going to attack Murgatroyd. He's actually using a glaive.
Love waves.
And that's 23 versus your AC, Murgatroyd, so that's a miss. So he swings the glaive, and the heavy blade just kind of gets knocked up by your shield and whizzes over your head. And the other blood collar, number 2, is... he's the one that's up there by Jack, so he will attack Jack again. And that is, I believe, a hit. Yes, 31 versus your AC.
Oh yeah, that succeeds.
All right, his nasty and quite possibly infected claws slash under your guard, catching you across the midsection again for 11 points of damage. And the Huntmaster knocks another arrow into his bow. However, seeing a nice squishy target in Hatim, wearing cloth armor up there, he is going to fire at Hatim. 31 versus your AC, Hatim.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's almost max damage. 17 points of damage as the arrow goes right through your arm. So you have like the bottom half of the shaft of the arrow with the flechettes sticking out of one side of your bicep, and the front half of the arrow with the arrowhead sticking out the other side of your bicep. Jack, your turn.
I did not like that attack I received. I am now bloody, so I will strike him hard. I'm going to do my pre-shield strike, and when I'm swinging, I'm going to swing from my left to my right, in hopes that when I hit him, I might be able to knock him onto his buddy or towards his buddy, basically unsteady him.
Sure.
Versus AC.
Nice. That is definitely hit. Unfortunately, it was going to take a crit to knock him silly unless your ability lets you push, pull, or slide.
No, but my ability does mean that me and one adjacent ally gain a +1 bonus to AC until the end of my next turn. It'll be him.
Valhalla. Excellent. All right, that knoll is not looking great. Yes, Valhalla, you feel the soft but warm and strong hand of a Minotaur deity on you.
It is almost like I am giving you a side hug. It is safe and comforting.
Vince.
Even if you do not find me safe and comforting.
It's true. Your turn, Vince.
18 versus Reflect.
On the target you have cursed?
Yeah.
That is a tie, unfortunately.
But
So your purple fire cascades around him this time, but he flexes his muscles and is prepared for it.
okay. And I'll stay put, and I'll be right back. I take my dog.
Sure thing.
I'll attack the knoll closest to me, I think, with just with one of my at-wills. Word of Binding, actually.
Oh yeah, that's a hit. What is the effect on that particular ability?
Okay, so the hit is actually just it's just 4 damage. And the target is immobilized until the end of my next turn, or until I'm not adjacent to it. And before the end of my next turn, the next attack against the target from one of my allies deals extra damage equal to +3.
Excellent.
Based on my Wiz modifier.
4 damage was enough. So you wield back your... what weapon are you using again?
It's a mace, and I have a holy symbol.
Right, okay, so you crack this creature in his forehead with your mace, and as your you continue your dance to cast the binding rune around him, his legs snap together and his arms get pinned to his side, and you can see that there is no strength left in him, so the binding power actually crunches his ribs and causes him to collapse in on himself, then dropping limp to the stonework. Murgatroyd, you're up.
I'll shift over here, and then I'll try to hit this guy. and then I'll mark him.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely a hit. Which guy? Demon Eye 1. All right. Excellent. Yes. You shift over, swinging diplomacy, cracking it into his lower abdomen. And you definitely hear the all too familiar sound for Murgatroyd of internal organs being liquefied. He is in very rough shape as he barfs up part of what looks like a kidney. Valhalla, your turn.
Alrighty. I'm just gonna Gilding Strike the guy in front of me again.
All right. Killer. All right, so you were kind of on one knee, and you just slide down to your other knee, whipping your Morning Star over your head and aiming it directly for this thing's groin. You hit. Damage, please. Pardon?
Sorry, I thought I landed on my feet.
No, because you failed your acrobatics roll, you wiped out. But I didn't want to make you prone, so you're just kind of... I wasn't giving you the minuses of being prone, so you're just kind of half prone. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you're not prone, you're just kind of on both knees as you do what looks like a power slide. And you swing your mace over your head, slamming into this thing. Which we gotta get Valhalla some good knee pads so he can start doing more power slides and attacking people.
And it's gonna take a -2 to AC.
Ooh, excellent. Thank you. Help me remember that.
Yep, and I'm going to shift backwards.
All right. The crazy rabid gnoll that barfed up part of its kidney snaps at it as it falls, catching it in its own mouth and then chewing it, swallowing its own internal organ, and then biting at Murgatroyd. Ooh, that's a 35 versus your AC.
That'll hit.
Ooh, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 points of damage as it takes your weapon arm, so the arm that's holding diplomacy, biting down on your forearm, filling its mouth with your warm dwarven blood. It laughs through clenched teeth.
Was it for 7? Sorry.
17.
Oh, that's more serious.
Yes, it was a devastating blow.
Back.
Excellent. You're back just in time to see Murgatroyd's arm get chomped on almost all the way through to the bone.
Uh-huh.
That guy is going to follow Valhalla and attack you with his claws.
Is he still prone?
Yes, he is still prone, so you're quite correct. He will just stand up and then shift towards Valhalla, unable to attack him this turn. Thank you for reminding me. Bloodcaller 1 down there will also attack Murgatroyd.
I shouldn't have said that.
No, it's okay.
No, I had a plan. If he was still prone, I was going to jump on him next turn and then smack the other gnoll.
No, unfortunately he got up. 24 versus your AC Murgatroyd, which is a hit. Is a miss. Huntmaster will knock another arrow and fire it at Hatim. Oh, that's only a 15 versus your AC, Hatim.
Nope.
All right. You're wearing some kind of scale mail, I think?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, so the arrow this time you managed to turn as you see it coming. It just glances off the scale mail on your back. Jack, your turn.
Well, I'm just going to turn and smack the guy right beside me.
All right, let her rip.
What's the damage?
I haven't decided yet. I'm going to say make a dexterity check, and you might just throw your weapon as it slides out of your hands. So just make a dex roll, d20 plus your dex mod plus half level, and you're looking to beat a 15. Ah, okay. You feel the axe slip from your fingers, but you've just managed to grab a hold right at the very base of the shaft, and it does not fly out of your hands. However, that is the end of your turn. Vince.
Going to. I see these jerks. Yep. Curse this guy.
All right, he is cursed.
19 versus reflect.
That is a hit.
Luis. 10 damage.
All right. 10 damage is actually enough to do it. This gnoll screams with his head held high as though he's howling at the moon, but the only thing coming out of his mouth is purple flame. It also bursts from his eyes and ears as the Eldritch Blast goes off in his throat and sinus cavity. He falls to the ground dead, smoking from his face holes.
You got wrecked.
Hatim, you're up.
So it's just that. Oh, there's the green knoll too. Or wait, there's 3 more knolls, right?
For now, yes.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to run over to the knoll closest to me and do. Or the green knoll looks really strong, right?
I think he's the one that's been archering you.
Yeah, he's archery looking.
Okay, I'm gonna run over and do an attack on him.
If you do a charge, you get +1 to your attack.
That's a good point.
Although, you would only get to do a basic melee, is the only thing. Unless you have a move that says it can be used as a charge.
No, I think I'm going to I'm gonna get really angry that he shot me a bunch of times, and I'm just gonna run over there and hit him. So that'll be a charge.
So yeah, charge is a basic melee in order to hit him.
So is the +1? It's +1 to attack.
It sure is.
So yeah, 31 then.
Jesus, that's a hit. 8
I've
damage.
been rolling really well this tonight.
Yeah, you're actually hitting stuff. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Is it possible to like try and knock his weapon out of his hands or something? How would I go about doing that?
It is possible to do that, but you would have had to do that instead of making a normal basic melee attack against him. You would be like targeting his weapon in his hand, which would be then a minus to your attack roll. But if you succeeded, you do damage and he has to hold on or drop it, or you might just break the weapon outright.
Oh, okay. Cool.
All right, sorry, Murgatroyd, you're up.
I'm gonna crush a knoll. Maybe.
Demon Eye 1. Yes, that hits the Demon Eyes, for sure. Excellent. 12 points of damage.
I'll action point and hit him again.
Your first blow drops him to the ground, gargling and foaming from his mouth. Would you like to redirect that blow to the other knoll?
Does he look strong? Or does the one that hit him is beating up look stronger?
The knoll next to you is wearing armor, where the knoll that Tim is fighting is not wearing armor.
Alright. I'll hit the armored one. I'll try to hit him with a tide of iron against the wall.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that definitely hits.
Push him against the wall, and then I go to the spot where he is.
Beauty. I'll slide him over there. Okay. And you slide yourself over. Thank you very much.
And I'll mark him.
All right, Valhalla, your turn.
Alrighty. This guy's the only guy left.
Yep.
Oh, that mofo over there. Alright, I'm gonna come over here and just extract this guy again. Versus AC, which he has a -2, I think.
Was that this guy, or was
Was
that
this guy, or was that? Unless the other guy is dead.
the other guy is dead?
Yeah, I think it was the other guy actually.
Alright.
Alright, 22 versus.
Unfortunately, 22 just slams against this guy's armor that he's wearing. And he shrugs off your blow.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's tough. Murgatroyd has marked him, so he will swing his glaive against Murgatroyd, trying to slash at you with it like a spear.
Does it bump against the wall behind him?
No. He's skilled enough with it. If he had rolled a crit fail, then it would have, but he knows what he's doing.
He's the one knoll that figured out how to use a glaive.
Yeah, he's the one who figured out how to use a glaive. And he got a 26 versus your AC. So unfortunately, you know how to use your shield better than he knows how to use a glaive. All right, the Huntmaster. Now that Hatim has closed the distance, will drop his bow and produce a hand axe and a small shield and attack at Hatim with his hand axe. 21 versus your AC.
Yep.
11 points of damage as the hand axe slams into your thigh, cutting very deeply into the musculature. Jack, your turn.
I'm going to charge at the green one
Okay.
and do my goring charge against him versus AC.
No, unfortunately 14 is not enough. He saw you coming and was able to get his shield and brace himself. As you slammed into him, he deflected your momentum harmlessly away.
Question.
Yes.
I want to kind of grapple this guy. Is that a standard action?
Yes, grappling is a standard action.
Hatim, I want this one alive.
For future reference, I would let you replace a grapple for a basic melee attack at the end of a charge. So you'd be doing like a flying tackle or some other kind of flying grappling move.
I was doing my goring charge, which is specifically a standard attack.
Yeah, I'm just letting everybody know that you can use grapples in place of a basic melee at the end of a charge. All right, out of the doorway to the south appears another gnoll dressed similarly to that green gnoll and wielding a longbow. He will lower it at the first person he sees, which is Murgatroyd, and shoot at him. No, the arrow bounces harmlessly off your armor, Murgatroyd. Then a slightly larger gnoll, one who looks like he's the boss, steps forward. He's wearing the nicest clothing out of all these gnolls and has, like I said, he stands a little bit taller, a little bit firmer of musculature, and he barks out some orders to them in their gnollish tongue, like, and points towards Murgatroyd. Vince, your turn.
Oh, 15 versus reflex.
Unfortunately not. Your Eldritch Blast cascades across the back wall, momentarily backlighting this gnoll and creating a very interesting purple effect. It's very Moonbeam City.
Nice. That's it.
All right. The other two gnolls that the pack leader was calling to charge from the doorway, zeeking past their two comrades, and both of them will charge attack Murgatroyd. They rolled low. I got a 19 and an 18 versus your AC. So both of them slash harmlessly at your armor. Hatim, your turn.
Okay, I'm going to go for Healing Strike this time.
All right. That's a hit.
So I think that's radiant damage as well.
Radiant damage does not appear to have any extra effects on these gnolls. But hitting it with a mace sure seemed to work well. It's definitely hurt. Not bloodied, but hurt. Murgatroyd, you're up. And that was your healing strike, so don't forget to get your health back.
I'm going to do my second win.
All right.
So I'll get the +2 AC and shit. I'll do that after. And I'll Reaping Strike the same guy I was attacking. 20 versus AC.
Yeah, that's a miss.
3 damage.
All right, you crash diplomacy into his side. You can feel it catch purpose, but you can sense that his armor soaked up most of the blow. Valhalla, your turn.
Guiding strike against the guy next versus AC.
29 versus AC is a hit.
Are you backwards?
I don't know. My character.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which way he's facing. All right, you crash your Morning Star into him, causing some damage, but not enough to draw blood. The Blood Caller will attack Murgatroyd.
Oh, he takes a -2 to AC.
Oh, thank you. No, he misses. Or anyway, his glaive is deflected by Murgatroyd's shield. The Huntmaster that was attacking Hatim will hack at you again with his hand axe. And that is a 26 versus your AC.
Yeah.
3 and 3. Oh, it's only 6 points of damage. That was almost minimum damage. So this one's more of a glancing blow, and you just get cut a little bit by the top end of the blade as you try and jump back to avoid getting hit. Jax, your turn.
I'm just going to do a No, I'm going to grapple this guy, and I'm going to see if I can slam his head against the wall during the grapple.
Excellent.
What
All
should I
right.
roll?
Grappling is strength versus his fortitude. So d20 plus your strength modifier plus half level. Oh, snap.
Oh, baby!
Yes, you.
Please tell me that knocks him out.
I will make a health roll for him. Are you attempting to damage him as well in this endeavor? Because you can roll your basic melee damage, which I think is a d4 plus strength mod plus half level. And then, actually, that's max. So, what's your strength mod plus half level? 8?
My strength, 8.
All right, so you do 12 points of damage to this guy.
And I'm hoping to knock him out. That's goal.
All right, you, yeah, especially because he just got bloodied too. So yes, you slam his head against the wall in a grappling hold. You can hear something crack in there, and yeah, he goes limp and his tongue lolls out from his mouth. However, he is still breathing.
We can say later. Focus on others. And I think that's my turn.
Excellent. The Huntmaster down here, now getting a clearer view of the battlefield, will move over 2 squares and seeing a very vulnerable-looking wizard at the back, will knock his arrow towards Vince. He rolled quite poorly. I'm pretty sure 13 does not hit your AC.
No.
All right, so the arrow clatters against the stone wall behind you, Vince. The very large, fearsome-looking gnoll kind of growls to himself as though he's saying, if you want something done, you've got to do it yourself. And he closes on Murgatroyd. I'm pretty sure he's got some kind of nasty weapon in his hand, too. Yeah, he's got a gigantic flail. 28 versus your AC, Murgatroyd.
Yep, that'll hit. Oh, wait, no. I did second wind.
So you are extra braced for this attack and are able to get your shield around in time, which is good because you feel this flail slamming into your shield and it rattles your bones and joints as though that this creature has a very powerful strike behind this flail. Vince, your turn.
That guy still cursed, eh? Or did I not curse him yet?
Yeah, he's got the skull and crossbones.
25 versus reflex.
That's a hit.
18 points of damage.
Excellent. The Eldritch Blast causes this fire to ripple up his body, cooking the skin in several places too rapidly, which makes it split, like when you cook a sausage too quick on the barbecue. It exposes the muscle and sinew underneath, and blood fountains forth, Tarantino style, onto Murgatroyd. He is now bloodied.
All the kill steals. Oh, he's not dead yet.
No, he's not dead yet. He's just very, very badly hurt.
Cool.
The other 2 blood callers, following their leader's direction, will attack at Murgatroyd again, slashing with their claws. Oh, that's terrible. Both of them miss. Hatim, your turn.
So this green guy is knocked out?
Correct.
Yep. I did good.
Is he tied up?
No, he's
Not
not
yet.
tied up.
Are you going to tie him up, Jack?
Sure. If you want me to.
Well, I guess just in case he doesn't, get up and run away or something.
You can tie him up too.
Teabag him. That's pretty classy, Murgatroyd.
Yeah.
I'll
Many video games.
I'll leave him and run over to this almost dead guy and hit him with one of my at-wills.
Go for it. Oh yeah, that's a hit. Although you stopped right there though, right? Because if you go 1 square further, you'll get an opportunity attack from him.
Oh, yeah.
But it's the same deal. That's definitely a hit. 11 points of damage. Nicely done.
And he's going to take, or he'll be vulnerable 2 to all damage, but vulnerable 5 against opportunity attacks.
Excellent. So, Hatim runs up next to Murgatroyd and clips this thing upside his head, making him a little bit dizzy. And you can see his guard has dropped a bit, Murgatroyd. Take opportunity of that. It's your turn, Murgatroyd.
Okay, I'll hit him. Or not.
That's a miss.
So I'll do 3.
+2 from Hatim.
And I'll use my second action point. And I'll do a rhino charge at this archer guy around all the shit so I don't take opportunity attacks. I'll be like, leave Brittany alone! Referring to Vince.
Okay.
Nice.
I miss him anyways.
Yeah, is 15, is that your total?
Well, it'll be 16 because I'm charging.
Oh, it's close.
That's okay. I got over here without getting attacked.
Yeah.
I'll mark him so maybe we'll stop attacking him.
Definitely. Okay. Good. So it's classic. Valhalla, your turn.
Shift up. Same shit. Fuck. That's versus AC, so that doesn't.
Unfortunately not. No. He is armored, so your Morningstar once again clatters against his field plate. He will turn and stare down Valhalla, raising his glaive high above his head and bringing it straight down, trying to bisect you. 16 versus your AC.
Miss.
All right, you nimbly sidestep as the giant blade from the glaive clangs against the floor. Chips of metal come flying off the blade, clattering across like spilled Scrabble tiles. Jack, your turn.
I'm going to hog tie the guy over here, and when I tie him up, I'm gonna do a little fancy thing where I also put a loop around his neck and attach it to his feet, so if he tries to move too much, he's gonna choke himself out.
Excellent. Do you have rope in your kit?
Yes, I do. I have 50 feet of it.
Perfect.
That's totally never stopped my dog.
What was that?
So
Rope?
that's totally never stopped my dog trying to choke itself.
Oh yeah, but your dog probably wouldn't. Yeah.
He's trying to be
I
nice
just wanna
and
slow it
say
down.
that your dog's not dumb. But your dog is obviously dumb. Sorry, Mitch, but you have a dumb
Little.
dog. Okay,
So, yeah.
excellent. That's your turn, Jack.
Okay.
The Huntmaster that you closed on Murgatroyd panics at your sudden approach, dropping his bow and producing his hand axe and short shield as well. He will attempt to hack at you with the hand axe. He misses. The pack leader barks some orders at these other blood collars and then turns with his massive flail, shifting over here so he can get some combat advantage against Murgatroyd and attempting to slam him in the spine with it. 28 versus your AC.
Yep.
18 points of damage from this flail as you can momentarily have the wind knocked out of you, Murgatroyd. Vince, your turn.
Oh, he did this time.
Hit.
13 points of damage.
Pardon me, that's enough.
Yes.
This knoll goes up in flames. You can hear a loud clatter clang as he drops his glaive to the floor, and other pieces of armor sloth off him as the leather underneath pops under the flame kisses of the Eldritch Blast.
Excellent. That's that.
All right, now instructed by their leader, these two gnolls charge forward, one attacking Valhalla, the other attacking Hatim. Valhalla, 18 versus your AC.
That's it.
10 points of damage from their ragged, nasty claws.
Damn.
And Hatim, that is 23 versus your AC.
Yeah.
14 points of damage as he buries his claws right into your side. You can feel one puncture your lung. Hatim, your turn.
I'm going to do one of my dailies. Do Rune of Twilight's Beacon.
Is that a single target or a burst kind of thing?
I'm actually not going to do that one.
Okay.
I'm going to do the Rune of Endless Fire.
Fuck me. All right. Is that a single target, or does that target multiple people?
It's one. So yeah, I'll do the one like right in front of me.
Okay. Does not hit his AC, unfortunately. Does it have an effect that still happens even though you don't hit?
Yeah. So, it's half damage,
Now ready?
and then I'm gonna gain a +2 bonus to damage rolls, and my attacks will deal fire and radiant damage.
Excellent. Would you like to action point and do something else?
I'm going to, like, with my move, I'm going to shift back, and then I'm going to use an action point to do a second wind, I think.
Good call. Murgatroyd, you're up.
Alright, I'm gonna try to push the guy into the wall real hard.
Yeah, that'll work. All right.
And I'll keep him marked.
So that's an initial 13 points of damage, and then we'll do a contest of strength to see if you can slam him into the wall for extra damage.
Strength plus half level or just the strength mod?
No, strength mod plus half level.
Yikes.
I got a 10. What did you get?
Lower?
An 8. Wow, that's incredible. I thought I rolled really bad. So yes, you don't slam him into the wall for extra damage, unfortunately.
Okay, that's fine.
Valhalla, your turn.
I'm going to back up and use my Majestic Word on myself, which allows me to spend a healing surge plus my charisma mod. And I'm going to also... Wait, slides don't provoke opportunity attack, do they?
They do not.
I'm actually going to slide myself back as part of that. So I get to spend a healing surge. There we go. And then I'm going to go over here. And I'm going to Guiding Strike this guy.
Excellent.
31 versus AC.
That is a hit.
12 points of damage.
And you move more than 2 squares, so add your lightning damage too. Don't forget. Excellent. The pack leader is taken completely by surprise. You whip around. He was focused on Murgatroyd, and you slam your Morning Star into his spine, crackling with electrical energy. Jack, your turn.
Moving up first. And I'm going to do Beacon of Hope. It's a Wisdom versus Will attack.
Who are you targeting?
It's a close burst 3.
Ooh,
and
excellent.
it's every enemy in the burst, and it will also affect my allies in the burst.
Which is everyone except for this Huntmaster down here. And Herpes, who's hiding around the corner. So we'll start with the pack leader. That's versus Will.
Yep.
That's a tie, unfortunately. The Blood Collar.
My helm has like a -1 will to all the things. In like a 10 aura around me.
Excellent. So then that hit him, and now you have automatically hit everybody else. So this guy takes max damage, whatever your max damage is.
It's not actually damage. All enemies are weakened until the end of their next turn, and all allies in the burst get +5 +6, I think. Hold on a second. Sorry, I have to find the note on my feet.
That's okay. If they're weakened, that at least means that the gnolls, these 3 gnolls that are in the burst, sag visibly, as though their own arms, or in the case of the pack leader, his giant flail has become heavier than he wants to hold. Their jaws slack open, and tendrils of spit drip from their tongues onto their chests.
And also, any of my healing powers will restore 5 more hit points until the end of the encounter.
Excellent. And you gave everybody a bunch of temp hit points, I think?
No, actual hit points, but I gotta find out how much it is on top of 5. It's 5 plus something from my feet.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Just post it in the feed or let us know. I'll move on. So the Huntmaster down below attacks Murgatroyd again with his hand axe. Oh, what do you know about that? 31 versus your AC, Murgatroyd.
Yep, that'll hit.
Only 8 points of damage. He's not doing a whole lot with this hand axe, but he's putting up a valiant fight. The Pack Lord, after being hit in the spine by Valhalla, turns around, fixing you with his tiny little cold, beady eyes. He pants a little bit, as though he's been weakened by Jack's ability, but he steels himself, raising his flail in order to attack you. 18 versus your AC, Valhalla.
18 is a hit.
All right, he is weakened, so this will not be as bad as it could be. It's only 10 points of damage. The flail clumsily crashes down on your shoulder. You feel it heavily impacting. You're like, oh, good thing he was weakened, or that might have broken my collarbone. Vince, your turn. 16 versus reflex is unfortunately a miss.
Okay.
All right, these two blood callers, seeing that their leader is in jeopardy, will rush over to help, both of them attacking Valhalla. Ooh, yikes, they both got 27 versus your AC. The first one does 14 points of damage with his claws, and the second one does 17 points of damage. These two bum rush Valhalla and double claw slashing, fling him back against the wall.
7 points of damage, you said?
17. Yeah, they're doing 2d6 plus 9 damage. It's pretty gross. Hatim, you're up.
I'm gonna go down one and then try my do my word of binding.
Oh, that's going to be hit. But if you had gotten to this square, you would have got combat advantage with Valhalla. Just so you know for next time.
But then I would have had a opportunity attack, right?
Not if you hugged the wall.
Oh, yeah. I suppose that's true.
That's all right. This time it's a hit, so that's good.
And that one is just that he's... Oh, so it's 4 damage. That's the one where it's 4 damage. And that guy is immobilized until the end of my next turn. Or until I'm not adjacent to it. And then my allies will deal 3 extra damage.
Excellent. Please help us remember that. So Hatim dances forward, doing his whirling dervish maneuver, his now pretty dirty and disgusting robes fanning out around him, clipping this knoll with his mace and causing him to be frozen in the spot by spectral energy. Murgatroyd, you're up.
Well, I'll try to bounce the guy off the wall again.
Oh, that's a hit. Excellent. You shield slam into this guy again. You see he's smash him enough in his face that his nose is bloodied. Make a contest of strength in order to drive him into the wall. I got a 10 again. You got a 12 this time. Excellent. So you can do an extra d4 plus your strength mod plus half level damage. Excellent. All right. That knoll is now bloodied as he is pinballed back and forth off Murgatroyd's shield and into the wall again. Valhalla, your turn.
All right. I'm going to use my healing word again on myself and spend another healing.
Oh, don't forget to tick off your healing surges as you spend them too.
Yeah, I just noticed I changed in here. I just haven't saved the changes.
Cool.
All right, and that shifts me backwards. So if I shift back into a occupied square occupied by an ally, what does that do?
You just can't end your turn there.
Very good. All right, I'll shift backwards, or slide backwards, sorry. And then I will shift over here. Wait, no, I won't. I'll move over here. Fuck, no, he gets opportunity attack. I'll shift over versus AC.
That's a hit. And you moved at least 2 squares. This turn?
Yep.
Excellent.
60 points of damage. Does that kill him?
No, it does not, but it bloodies him. This guy was pretty fresh. The crackling energy of the Momentum Morning Star whips around, bloodying that knoll. Jack, your turn.
I'm going to do my at-will pre-shield versus AC.
Unfortunately, that is not a hit. Their armor is substantial. This
That ends my turn.
Yes. Thank you. This Huntmaster here is going to he's going to shift away from Murgatroyd. 1 square here, and then swat at him with his axe. It's a 29 versus your AC. A paltry 7 points of damage as he clips you in your shoulder, doing a tactical retreat. The Pack Lord is a little miffed and barks at his Huntmaster for leaving position, so he no longer has combat advantage against Murgatroyd. But he will swing his flail around and attempt to drive Murgatroyd's head into his neck. 22 versus your AC, so it glances off of your helmet and doesn't hurt you at all. Vince, your turn. Look at the big balls on Vince.
Crit success. Wow. Okay, this is going to take a minute.
Don't forget to roll your bonus 5d6 damage for critting with that weapon.
Yeah.
And there was something else, too. You get to teleport, don't you?
On crit?
There's something like that with your trident when you crit.
I'm not sure. That actually sounds familiar, but I don't know. Just give me a second.
We're gonna have to look up the rules for how much damage a knoll needs to take before it explodes in one go.
So it's 5d6 or 65.
5d6.
Okay.
A d6 for every plus on your weapon.
And that's just the bonus damage after your attack.
So in total, it looks like 66 plus 22 because my curse damage does a d6 as well. Max damage is 22.
Sounds good.
51. That's fucking spaghetti level.
All right. Vince, obviously sensing that Murgatroyd was in danger, rushed in, and with one slash from his racist trident, he cuts off one of the knoll's arms, which just drops to the floor and fountains blood all over his comrade. Knoll number 3 is very bloodied and I'm going to say dazed.
Nice.
He was at full health too. That was yeah, that was something else.
You
Okay.
just shocked him.
I think that was the first time I crit with the trident. Believe it or not.
Oh, and take your teleport. I'm pretty sure that we also said that if you crit with the trident, you get to teleport.
Okay.
Just like
Bwomp.
yes, Noel Bloodcolor 3 panics that his arm has been cut off, but he kind of shakes his head and clears the fog. On his next turn, he will be able to act. Number 4, also slightly freaked out that his buddy's arm just got chopped off, and then the Eladrin bamfed away. Manages to miss his attack on Valhalla due to extreme distraction. Hatim, you're up.
I'm going to shift down 1 and do a Beacon of Vengeance.
Oh, shit!
Oh, so that was versus the guy diagonal to me? Sorry, I keep forgetting to say my
It's alright.
thing.
The one with one arm.
Yeah. And so Murgatroyd now is invisible, and he can shift 3 if he wants. Murgatroyd's invisible till the end of my next turn.
To everyone or just that creature?
To everyone. He's just invisible.
Oh, wow. Nicely done. So Hatim steps up and with a brilliant light coming out of the end of his mace, does a "you shall not pass," slamming into this knoll, causing him to split in half, essentially. He goes down, and Murgatroyd kind of winks out of existence for everyone. Damn, that
Cut in
was
half real bad.
2 brutal turns in a row there. And then Murgatroyd, it's your turn. So you become invisible and slide between the legs of the Knoll pack leader, who is staring around bug-eyed. Obviously, he misunderestimated the strength of this group.
I'm gonna hit the guy between him and I. So it's 24 versus AC,
That's a hit.
and I'll mark him. And then I guess for my move, I'll shift here.
Excellent. So like some kind of crazy spinning top of hammer death, Murgatroyd slides between the pack leader's leg and pivots on one foot, smashing this blood collar in the ribs with diplomacy, continuing his movement in a surprisingly graceful pirouette for such a husky dwarf into position here between the two of them.
Too bad none of us could see it.
Valhalla, your turn.
So this guy's still got -2 to his that's to not to AC. That's to his no, it is to AC. My mistake.
Oh my god.
There we go.
Right on. Valhalla, why don't you just go ahead and describe how you dispatch that guy?
Cool. So my Morningstar actually just kind of places a hole through him. It's not like a swing. It's actually just like a thrust, and it just kind of blows through his rib cage. A piece of rib cage goes across the other side with some red strings of entrails attached to it.
When you first started, I thought of that scene in Kung Pao where he punches the chunk out of the guy and it just comes out like a clean cylinder. Excellent. He definitely dies. You can see now the pack leader has a slight look of panic in his face, as though the tides have taken an unfortunate turn. Jack, your turn.
Okay, I'm going to do my Astral Seal on him first. And this is versus his Reflex.
That's a hit. So he is now glowing with the Astral Seal.
Until the end of my next turn, he takes a -2 penalty to all defenses. The next ally who hits him will get 9 hit points. Not temporary, actual hit points. After I'm done that, I'm going to try to intimidate him, like make him like shit. Is he wearing pants?
He's wearing like a kilt.
I'm going to try to make him shit on the floor. Since he's not wearing pants.
Excellent. All right, make an intimidation check. And let me know what you are saying and or doing.
I try to make it sound like my god is here to cast judgment upon him, and we are the divine fist of her judgment, and it's about as well as I'm speaking it right now. Not very intimidating.
Right. Anurian is your second language, and it's his second language. So he is. You're being as intimidating as you think you're being, but because of the 2 language barriers between you, he does not seem to understand. He definitely gets your tone, though.
Is he confused?
He's confused and a little frightened. This guy is making a run for it. So that the Huntmaster disappears into the darkness on the other side of that set of doors.
So he's gone?
He runned away. Yeah, someone can try and chase him if they want on their turn. The pack leader, looking down and seeing the glowing astral seal on his chest, knows that can't be good. He also now sees that he's the only one of his pack left standing in this room. So he throws down his flail, and he puts up his hands, and in his barking canine voice, he says, "Stop! Stop! Let me go! I can tell you where the treasure is."
Jack not here for treasure. Jack is very upset. Why did you desecrate?
If
Yeah.
he's like giving up, can I just immediately start trying to disarm him and just search all his pockets and stuff?
Yes, you can.
Can I run up and just kind of punch him to take Jack's shit? To get the 9 hit points?
Yes, yeah.
Sweet, I'll punch him.
Easy
Not real.
healing. We should keep on doing this.
Just
Okay.
start
Before we
with
talked
astral
about-
seals.
Didn't we talk about doing it with rats? And like astral sealing a bunch of rats and then like taking them to our belt?
No, we didn't talk about that, but that's a good idea.
I think that was rookie
But
day.
different campaign, maybe.
Yeah, I think that was in rookie night. Okay, so yes, the Gnoll looks even more surprised as the charred and burnt, slender-framed Eladrin, obviously wizard, runs up and slaps him across the face. Go ahead and roll your D4 plus strength damage.
What was it? D?
D4 plus strength mod plus half level.
It's 4. Yeah. No, it'd still be 9. Sorry.
And it completely distracts him from Murgatroyd, who undoes his belt, which causes his dagger to drop to the floor. Yeah, and you're just kind of going through his pockets, fishing things out and tossing them. It's mostly like trinkets and stuff. You find a sack of gold coins at his hip that you just kind of toss over to the side for now.
While they're doing that, I'm going to go grab the other Knoll and bring him to there
Okay.
so that we can question them at the same time and see what their reactions are to the other person's answers, that kind of thing.
Excellent. You pull, Murgatroyd, you pull a golden ring in the shape of a serpent that's eating its own tail off of his finger. From a sack on his back, you pull out an elaborately embroidered ceremonial robe with beads and lacquered wooden strips. A small wooden box about the size of a deck of cards, which you can hear something rattling around inside. Also in the sack that had the robe is a very, very shiny... You're a dwarf, so you recognize it right away as adamantite rod engraved with a holy symbol on it. You're unfamiliar with which holy symbol, though.
Alright, so I got a deck of cards, the ornate robes, adamantite rod with holy symbol.
No, it's a wooden box that's the size of a deck of cards, and you can hear something rattling around. It's not another deck of cards.
I'm going to examine that rod with the holy symbol, see if I recognize it.
All right, make a religion check, please. The Gnoll continues to... he's just being quiet right now, because you're not actively trying to kill him. He's not saying anything. 19. Yes, you recognize the holy symbol of Asmodeus. Hang on, it's giving me a page reference to another book. Never mind, you guys didn't talk to that guy. It's not a quest seed. So you just, yes, it's a religious rod.
What do I know about this Asmodeus?
You know that it's an evil god, but it's a god that's not super familiar to you.
Is there such thing as like detect evil or something in 4th edition?
Yes. You can make a religion check if you're trained in religion, which lets you do various chants or, you sing a hymn or burn some incense or whatever you decide Jack's religion dictates. But you make a religion check, and it'll may help you discern if something is evil.
I do that.
Excellent. Yes, the rod does seem to have some faint evil coming from it. However, Vince, it is not magical.
The rod or ring?
Oh, I didn't know which one you were searching.
Sorry, it was a ring that Murgatroyd was rubbing on.
No, the ring is not magical either.
Garbage ring.
Oh, I see it now where Vince, Murgatroyd says he rubbed the ring on Vince for magic.
I'm sure what we should do with Rod. It is a little bit evil.
So the pack leader, now that you guys have all of his stuff, he's like, yes, you keep it. I go.
What were you doing here?
Here, we live here.
For how long?
Arr,
Tell me more about the place.
it is a safe place. We live here for months.
What's his like natural language?
Knoll, which would sound like barks and yips.
We should also ask Underling about treasure. And we should also search Underling as well.
The underling is unconscious, so you'll have to succeed in a heal check in order to bring him round.
Well, we'll search him first before bringing him round.
Excellent. He has, I guess the weapons he dropped, a dagger at his hip. Excuse me. Mostly uninteresting odds and ends, but he'll also have a little coin purse. The
what kind of shape is the dagger in?
not great shape. It'll work. It's sharp. It has been sharpened recently, but the blade's a little pitted.
I might need to cut bread.
You might. The pack leader says, we follow Katashi. Here. He lead us here. Is good place till you come.
Has he left or is he still here? Should we...
He points to the double doors at the north end of the room you're in.
He is still here.
He barks and nods at you in the affirmative, Murgatroyd.
I'm going to examine statue in this room while they are discussing this.
He once again barks and nods to the affirmative to you, Murgatroyd. What's your passive insight, Murgatroyd?
15.
Yeah, he barks and nods to the affirmative at you. This statue is a statue of a lawful good minotaur goddess. We'll come up with names in that later. You recognize her, though, as being one of the figureheads that your ancestors would have brought here. Not this statue in particular, but this goddess to be worshipped.
I'll motion to the guys to, get close to the knoll so he doesn't make a break for it. Then I'm just gonna take a peek, see if I can find the knoll that ran away.
Okay.
Just make sure we're not gonna get rushed by other knolls. Peek around the corner.
I am going to attempt to revive unconscious Noel.
All right. You make a heal check, and Murgatroyd, I'll find the page to describe what's in this room you're looking into now.
I'm looking mainly for knolls.
Right. You don't see any movement. No, there's no movement. You see the lights from your friends back there, especially that brilliant sun, Rod, is reflected off of the murky surface of a pool that dominates this grand hall. The waters are dark and still. You can just make out the carvings of a bull carrying the sun in its horns on the wall. Oh, and my bad. There is a dim light coming from a magical circle which is carved into the floor. Dim flames flicker in the twisting runes of this circle. I'll light that up for you right now. There we go. That was too bright at first. That's better.
Cool, I'll just let them know that there's no knolls and that there's a magic circle over there.
I'll Arcana the circle.
I'll go with him because I don't want him to get jumped.
19.
Excellent. So, Jack, you're slapping that knoll around, and his eyes start to focus, and he becomes awake. Vince, you're kneeling by the circle, doing your incantations, trying to divine the magic. And as you're doing the divination, the flames kind of lick a little bit higher. They're just low, like pilot light flames glowing in each of these runes. But with a roll of 19, you definitely sense that anyone standing inside this circle will get bonuses to fire-based attacks.
Neat. I'll get in.
To ask the larger Noel if we let him go, Would he leave and go join goblins, but basically leave us alone?
He snorts at that. He's like, "Ah, stinky goblins. Never. I leave. I go back to the woods. Far from here. Never bother you again."
I'm gonna
Do an insight check. I'm guessing that's what you said. You got cut off.
yes, an insight check.
Oh, yeah, he is full of lies.
Yes, you are not good liar. You should practice that more.
He looks slightly insulted that you said that, and his fists clench.
So, I'm not sure what to do with you now. Should I knock you out? Tie you up? Do I have an idea as to whether he's evil, or is he just...
He definitely
Or has
seems...
he just had a rough upbringing?
He seems like an asshole, if that's any...
Which
indication.
null is this?
The yellow one. Well, that would solve problem.
Okay.
The
Because...
Noel recognized.
Pardon?
Go on.
Because Murgatroyd slipped this guy's armor off, that actually hits. So Vince comes up behind him and stabs the gnoll in the back with his racist trident.
I'm still wicked pissed off at all the gnolls for killing Duck.
Fair enough. All right.
We still have this other knoll over here for asking questions.
So,
And he is now awake.
before we slip back into initiative order, in reaction to that, the gnoll whips around and backhands Vince. 25 versus your AC, Vince.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 13 points of damage from his claws that rake across your neck and face. And then into the initiative order, it's Vince's turn.
I actually got to get going.
Okay. Valhalla has a sudden case of the vapors and faints.
Oops. I meant to trident him for 24 versus AC, and that would have been 20 points of damage.
Nice.
All right, see you folks later.
Later.
Thanks for coming out, Graham.
No worries. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it on the other hangout day that we're talking about.
Sure, that's fine. Just keep us posted.
Cool. Thanks. Sounds good. See you later, guys.
Laters. All right. Valhalla. Remove from combat. Hatim, you go after Vince.
I'm just gonna go over to where I'm pretty tired, so I'm just gonna go over to where Jack is, and I guess make sure that other Noel doesn't cause trouble.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought I dragged him to roughly in front of me. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Murgatroyd, your turn.
I would have followed Vince out of that room. I was just making sure he wasn't getting jumped in there.
I know.
So I'll walk up beside him and hit him and mark him. Since I'm beside Vince, that's 21.
That's a hit. All right. Diplomacy smashes into his shoulder, crushing his rotator cuff and collarbone in there, rendering one of his arms useless. Jack, your turn. The gnoll
I'm
at
going
your
to
feet
seal him again.
is struggling against his bonds.
I'm going to seal the leader first
Okay.
versus reflex.
Yep, that's a hit.
Then until the end of my next turn, -2 to all defenses. Next ally that hits him will get 9 hit points. And then for the gnoll in front of me, I'm going to step on him to kind of remind him where his place is.
All right. In order for you to do another attack or standard action to this guy, you'll have to spend an action point.
Oh, I'm not going to be attacking him. Just put my foot down.
Put your foot on him? Okay.
Yeah. Just remind him who's boss.
All right. The large pack leader is going to attempt to grapple with Vince. 7. That's 26 versus your fortitude, Vince.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So his one still working hand wraps itself around Vince's throat, and he squeezes. He does 7 points of damage on a squeeze.
What a dick.
Your turn, Vince. Your breath kind of catches in your throat. Your eyes bug out for a second. You're having trouble catching your breath. Oh,
34 versus 80.
but you able to stab up into his guts with your trident.
And you were somehow healed by that.
Nice.
By 9.
19 points.
19 points. All right, yes, you stab up into his guts, and Jack, you can see the 3 points of the trident appear out the backside of this Knoll pack leader as the stop on the trident catches against his spine. He barfs out a whole bunch of blood, and it looks like he is fading, but he grinds his teeth together and stares Vince in the eyes venomously. You recognize that he's trying to tell you that till his last breath, he will continue to fight you. The one on the pardon?
Nor beneath me. You see what happens when you fight us? Stop struggling. It's bad time for you.
Make an intimidation check. Oh, damn, that worked. Okay, yes, he stops struggling and he looks away as though he can't stand to see his pack leader dying. Hatim, your turn.
I'm going to run over and I'm just going to go and charge him and hit him with my mace.
Okay. Excellent. Hatim runs up and swings, hitting the first of your tines with the end of his mace, causing it to cut clean through the middle of this knoll. The legs remain standing, but the top half flops over on the ground. For a split second, there's some fountaining blood from the various arteries, and then the legs crumple to their knees. Kill stolen.
Now, nor beneath me. If you join us, that does not happen to you.
He just kind of whines like a beaten dog.
Join the winning team. We will give you dog treats.
He looks up at you and hoarsely, almost quietly says, I will do what you say.
Insight?
Yeah, go ahead. Oh yeah, he's absolutely terrified of you guys.
He is my pet now.
Can I rummage through their stuff?
Yeah, they had all the treasure that was on them. So you find like some morsels of greasy food, meat of unknown origin. These skins. We'll say that there's like, I don't know, some bones. Interesting looking stones. I already described all the treasure that they had on them.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was just wondering if there's anything over there in their little camp thing.
Nothing of interest.
Alright, so we got some doors up north. I guess we could nab our sun rod again. Whoever wanted to carry that, was it Jack?
Sure, I'll carry it.
Well, I think it was, I threw it to someone. Maybe it was Valhalla.
We can give it to Jack for now.
Yeah, isn't he scared of the dark?
Minotaurs don't have the low light vision. But yes, we are out of combat, so you guys can go ahead and spend any healing surges you want with bonuses from Jack and.
I used one. If you want to roll whatever your bonus is. Dang, 8 more.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing one on myself as well.
Excellent. Would you guys like to press on or head back over to the temple and take a little breather? Because I think we're going to wrap it up here for the night. And I just want to know, are we going to pick up from right here, or are you going to head back to the temple? I know Vince would like to get, a day's rest in, I'm sure, before going in through those doors. That's going to be a boss battle.
Is there anything else of note in this room that we can search or fiddle with?
There's
another door.
Yeah, another set of doors. Which, when you press your ear to, you can hear the sounds of more gnolls on the other side.
Like, real close?
Yeah, quite close.
If we are going to take a break for a day to rest, I have 2 special spells that do not require healing surges to heal.
Well, we can't camp here because there's gnolls behind one of the doors in the other room.
No, we cannot camp here. I mean, if we leave and camp at the other place.
It means that you guys get a chance to rest up, get your dailies, get anything back, get some more healing surges, but it means that the gnolls will also have extra time to, gather themselves together, refortify and whatnot.
I think we should take the breather probably. Like this battle wasn't too bad, so
Yep, lets people, if they're hurting, take a break.
Alright, who has no healing surges?
Herpes.
I only have one.
Yeah, so let's go back to the temple with Oakley.
Okay, what are you guys doing with the tied up gnoll? Are you dragging him along with you?
We can untie his feet so he can walk himself.
Yeah, he's the Minotaur's responsibility. If he acts out, I'll just crush him.
Okay, of the people with, no healing surges or only one, who's more injured, would I say? Based upon my healer's knowledge.
Herpes. But he's not here, so then Vince.
How injured does he look to me?
He looks about half. So almost bloodied. But it's definitely more of an exhaustion thing for Vince than a injury thing.
Then I will cast Cure Serious Wounds on him. He can regain hit points as though he had spent 2 healing surges.
Fuck. Damn, that's a good one.
Yes, but that's a daily. That's why I was asking if we were resting.
That's one of those ones that not only are you healed, Vince, but some of your scarring from the burning oil goes away.
And I also have a Cure of Light Wounds for the other person. That's one healing surge. That's one healing surge value, but they don't actually have to spend a healing surge. Plus an additional 3 hit points.
Okay, I think you should give that to Herpes, even though Dave's not here.
Yep.
I'll just make a note that he gets to heal a healing surge plus 3.
But without spending the surge.
Copy. Beauty. Vince, you get to heal the equivalent of spending 2 healing surges without spending anything. And Jack cast a Cure Serious Wounds on you, so not only you're healed, but some of the scar tissue and stuff goes away from where you were burned from the oil and jazz.
Has he got anything for my duck?
I don't think he has a resurrect for the duck, unfortunately.
Reverse cook.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna copy paste you guys back to the temple. Oakley is happy to see that you're all still alive, but he definitely asks if you have found any more of the artifacts. I think you're missing the brazier and something else.
Can we show him the holy symbol we found? See if that's one of them? He's like, is this it?
No. In fact, when he sees it, he's like, that is a sign of evil. You must destroy that.
Oh, alright. So I'll give it back to whoever had it. I guess can we crack open the little wooden box that we had? See what's inside?
Yes. It has 5 pearls inside of it.
Do they look magical?
They do not. And unfortunately, they're not mineral, so I'm not giving you a freebie to appraise them. Someone can make a thievery check to appraise them, though, if they'd like.
Cool. I just put 5 pearls at any price in the inventory. So maybe when Elliot's around, he might know, unless someone else got some thievery.
Oh yeah, Vince nailed the thievery. You're pretty sure you can get 100 gold pieces per pearl.
Do we know how much the robes are worth? Or the ring?
Yeah, Vince can try and appraise them as well with a thievery check. The robes are made of quite fine cloth, and the beads and lacquered wooden strips on there are good quality. You're pretty sure you could get upwards of 200 gold pieces for this very nice robe. And another roll for the ring. God damn. You are 100% sure that you can get exactly 250 gold pieces for this ring. In fact, make a note, you are pretty sure that when you're haggling with this ring, I'm going to give you a +2 to your diplomacy to actually get more than it's worth, because you have, just by looking at it, you're like, I'm pretty sure I can convince somebody that this ring is worth more than it actually is.
Thanks.
Okay, excellent. We'll do the next morning at the beginning of the next session, just in case Dave is here and she can. I could just raise Herpes' hit points. Does anybody know what a healing surge value is for a sorcerer?
Mine's 12.
I'm just gonna heal Herpes here. You gave him surge +3, so he's got 8, 9, and 11. Excellent. You didn't miss anything. You guys just did the trek back to the temple and talked to Oakley, and you're all bedding down for the night. And we'll pick up the next session the next morning on day 11.
Is Herpes here too?
Yeah, Herpes is right there.
I'll scooch
Question.
right next to him when we've laid to rest.
Okay.
Scooch up extra tight.
You gonna be the big spoon or the little spoon?
Big.
Okay, we'll make extra note that when Herpes wakes up, Vince is spooning him from behind.